You are now listening to Mr. Z Blackneffect.
Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat on the way in. Man, Z, what's going on today? What's up with your life? Look, life is lifing. Regular streams. Hopefully we can actually get this stream out. Hopefully we actually can, right? And y'all give Z a second. Actually, no, we're not busy, but give Z a second. Okay, all right, we're back. We're back. Now I just want to make sure that we was yeah. Okay. We got comments in here. We got people streaming in. My apologies, everyone. Here's low key, it can happen again. But well, damn Z. And so we are addressing again FD Signifier and Deante Kyle in a conversation that they had recently. I actually enjoyed the conversation, right? There are certain things I agree with. There are certain takes and analysis that I agree with. To be fair, right? But once again, the cringe calling black men in the black manosphere cringe. Yeah, we're gonna address it. I'm gonna pretend like the first half didn't exist, or the first part didn't exist, better yet. Um, and so let's actually address this. Um, let's address Deante Kyle first, and then we'll get underway. All right. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Continuing.
And going back to the point I was making about like black politics on YouTube, it's real. Like, I didn't see it when I first started it, but like once I started and like was floundering and trying to figure out what the fuck is going on, I was like, yo, there's very few black men. The black feminists were there. Shout out to Khadijah Bo, Julesy, T Noir, even Kim Foster. Like they all had like 100,000 subscribers. They had their communities, etc.
And they all do video essays and stuff like that as well?
They do like a mixture of different versions of it, but essentially a video.
Are you familiar with Deja Sade?
Yeah. Deja Sade is another homie. Yeah. She came later though.
She came like she flipped me on my head. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And so like if it wasn't for Khadijah and Bo shout out, the algorithm probably wouldn't have figured out what I was doing, because the algorithm was sending me to manosphere niggas. And it was coming to my comment section eating me up like what about black women? I'm like, I don't know why we even talking about this. I was talking about coming to America, bro. Like only how we got there.
What about black women is like the weakest deflection to a compliment? Yo, I always tell these niggas like, yo, if your son said that to you, wouldn't you be disappointed?
And to Deante Kyle, that's a good question. Mr. Z has no children. Let's go with it. If Mr. Z's son said, what about the women? After I know that I invested time and energy, I can see my son has his head on his shoulders, right? I can see he's an upright citizen. He's a good man. He's doing well in life. He's upwardly mobile. He's astute. He's aware. Let me use some of y'all language. He's emotionally intelligent. He has a personality, right? In other words, shout out to Jordan Peterson. If my son cleaned his room, if his room is clean, he takes showers every day, right? He's well groomed. He's earning pretty good money. He's educated. If my 24, 25-year-old, 26, 27-year-old son says, yeah, what about the women, Dad? Then yes, I would not be disappointed in him for saying that. Huh? I would not say, what type of man are you? Huh? I said this earlier. Let me say it again. You guys are sounding like the white folks now when it comes to black men. You know how the white folks dismiss black people when we talk about systemic issues? That's how y'all are sounding now. When we talk about wayward white folks, when we talk about a system that creates and that perpetuates anti-blackness, racism, huh? That's how y'all are sounding now. Do you get it? And let's be very clear once again to Deante, Kyle, and to FD Signifier. What y'all are doing, how large your platforms are, the reach you have mean nothing if you can't get black women subsidized, if you can't get black women paid for, if you can't get black women to have the jobs and careers where they earn enough money to sustain themselves. It means nothing. The air quotes community, it's not strong enough. It doesn't have enough folks with enough resources, especially as y'all are hemorrhaging young black men. The interracial marriage rate for black folks, or black men in specific, the interracial marriage rate for black men, newlyweds, is 25%. It's 24%, but 25%. Huh? You can mock and make fun of the young men and the men as much as you want, Deante, Kyle. But it means nothing if y'all can't find a way to do for black women. And on the subject of the men, particularly the young black men, saying, what about the women? Yes, what about the women when they sound like this?
As a man, if you don't have house core job, don't look for a woman with house core job. And for the men that complain about women that do that, look for a man that has all three, and they don't have all three. We can do that. We are women. You want us. You need us. Y'all want one thing from us. And mad because we boss y'all around because you're a fucking servant. You're a provider, right? You're a protector, right? You're a security guard, and you're a goddamn assistant. Know your place. Stop being contradicting. And bow down. Because I'm sick of it.
Yes, Deante, Kyle. Yes, what about the women when they sound like that? What about the women when they sound like
I
this?
miss when men used to protect, provide, and shut up.
I miss when men used to protect, provide, and shut up. Y'all speak to us about not being jealous or insecure when a woman earns more than us, excuse me, when a woman earns more than us, right? Don't feel like it's a challenge to your manhood, right? Be secure in yourself. Cool. Yes, what about the women? Yes, Deante, Kyle, you're absolutely right. Yes, what about the women when they sound like
That
this?
if you are broke and I choose to deal with you, I will belittle you. It is what it is.
Huh? Yes, what about the women? You damn right. What about the women? Yes, that's half of the goddamn community. In just numbers, that's half the black community. You damn right. Yes, what about the women when a significant number, almost all, when a significant number of them think and talk, well, like this?
This is what I tell average looking and below average looking women. If you can't date up, be alone. Life is easier that way. And I know that's controversial. I don't care. I don't care.
Yes, Deante, Kyle. Yes, what about the women? When the young men are saying, what about the women? That's what they're talking about. That's what you're minimizing. Huh? That's what you're laughing at them for. That's what you're mocking them for. Yes, what about the women? You damn right. What about the women when they sound like this?
I'm making this as a PSA to any man that ever thought he had a chance with me or any man that wants a chance with me. If you like 50-50, stay where you're at, baby, because this mouth is only going to get more egregious. I promise you that. I'm paying these big bills and you think I'm not about to be talking to you out the side of my mouth? Watch this. Watch this.
Huh? See, if there was evidence in the black community that the FDs of the world were taking the black manosphere to task, and the Kim Fosters were taking the Chrissies to task, and we had that constant drumbeat, maybe the young men wouldn't be saying, "What about the women?" That also shows you that the majority of black men still want to couple up with black women. So if you're speaking of black men in specific, and the young black men are saying, "Yeah, what about the women?" There's some hope there for your sake. They should be saying, "What about the women?" What they're telling you is, this is as far as I go. You're not budging me anymore. The women get to keep their gendered pleasures, and yet we're going to strip the men of theirs? Good luck on that. How's that interracial marriage rate looking? Huh? Yes, what about the women? The young men have the right to say, "What about the women?" When the young women sound like, well,
the problem is we don't have enough women disrespecting men. We don't have enough women humbling these men and putting them in their place. We need to start making these men feel worthless, because they are. Okay? Call him a bitch. Disrespect him. Put him down. Make him feel bad about himself. Like, what's going on here? I feel like we're losing the plot. Like, I'm seeing too many marriages and too many people getting in these relationships. That's why these men think that they're the prize. Because y'all are putting them on this pedestal, making them feel like they're the prize. No. It's your job as a woman to put that man down and put him in his place. Treat him like the animal he is.
Deante, that's not AI, bro. There's way more of women, black women, that think, sound, move like that than you would like to admit. When the young men say, "What about the women?" that's what they're talking about. That's what they're running into. Huh? Yes, what about the women? You damn right. What about the women?
What if black women were supposed to be the leaders and black men are just supposed to protect with their muscles and use their listening ears and carry out instructions?
That's a I said full grown. Yeah, that's true too. That's a full on gynocracy that she's advocating for. Deante, what do you think you're doing? You don't think you're doing her bidding? Huh? What the young men are telling you is, if I don't get a community, you don't get a society. Well, better yet, if I don't get a woman, you don't get a community. Say it again, Z. If I don't get a family, a woman worth a damn, then you don't get a community. That's what they're saying. Huh? That's what they're saying. Yes, what about the women? It's fascinating listening to these guys speak, and they act like they're not in the world. Deante was out here. If we're to believe his story, all of a sudden black women's misbehavior, sexism, misandry don't exist anymore. Who is addressing black women's misandry towards black men? Who? Juicy? T Noir? Cat Black? Who? Khadijah? Who? The rampant anti-blackness coming from black women directed to black men. Who's addressing it? Fine. None of you black men think it's your job. Not FD, not Deante, not Consciously, not Alvin from Waving the Red Flag. Huh? Not Herbert, not Andrewism. Huh? Not Little Bill, not Foreign Man in a Foreign Land. None of the men think it's their job. Okay, fine. Which one of you ladies are going to take up that mantle? Oh, wait, Juicy every once in a while. Every once in a blue, Juicy will say something. Huh? So no nappy-headed jojoba, no Deja, no Kim Foster, barely Julesy, huh? Fine, it's not one of the black men's job. Which one of the ladies are engaging in it? Which one of the ladies are like, okay, look, we're gonna have to give the black men something. We can't just let y'all be out here talking crazy to them and about them, huh? Unless, of course, you think black men and boys are deserving of that type of language and behavior. Uh-oh. If you're a bit sympathetic to the black women that are being misandrous towards black men, huh? I mean, it's a real good question there. If you think the young black men and black men in general are deserving, if you think, it's not that serious, huh? She only called you a bullet bag. Ain't that right, Kidding Jade? Huh? So you damn right. What about the women? Yes. What about the women? Especially when the women are admitting, even though she's a bit older, that the black community is a gynocracy, but she said matriarchy. Continuing.
Well, look, for me, it has never really been about black man or man. It's been about men. Mm-hmm. You know, there's this myth out there that black men can't handle being spoken to, you know, and told what to do by black women. Black men come from our bodies. Yeah. So black men have black mothers. So they're used to having these conversations with women.
The matriarchy is strong with the black
community. It is very strong.
Yeah.
Conversations with women.
The matriarchy is strong with the black
community. It is very strong.
Yeah. The matriarchy is strong with the black
community. It is very strong.
Yeah.
Told you.
Huh? That's Whoopi Goldberg. But Whoopi wasn't the only one to say the black community is a matriarchy, if you want to be kind, a gynocracy, if you want to be accurate. But Whoopi Goldberg wasn't the only one to say the matriarchy exists. The black community is a matriarchy.
And for a lot of, and you know, we are a matriarchal community, and I've said that before. And you have a lot of women in the sisterhood who say that we are a patriarchal community. And no, we're not. The vast majority of black people, myself included, was raised by a single mother. And that's the men and the women. We are matriarchal. If we were truly patriarchal, our communities would not be in this situation. And I'm going off on a tangent. The reason why the sisterhood doesn't like strong, masculine black men who are truly living in their masculinity is because because black women would need accountability in order to fall under correction. I recently had someone coming at me.
Huh? Wait, FD, did you not forget what you said yourself? Once again, we're still addressing Deante Kyle with that comment, what about the women? Yes, the young men are asking you, what about the women? I mean, aren't they the ones who are leading the community? Uh-oh.
My best question is in your opinion, is the black community a patriarchy, a matriarchy, a gynocracy, or an other?
The community itself is probably more matriarchal than patriarchal. The culture.
I appreciate you answering that. So, do you believe that the black community can actually be a functional community, being matriarchal?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Oh shit.
Under the thing that makes
I appreciate. Okay, so because I know you ain't got a lot of time. If you want to talk more, you can. But I just want to make very clear when I said what I said about the ideology, because you may not have heard that. I said, do you consider yourself an intersectional feminist? He said, yeah.
Yeah, he said,
yeah. I didn't know. Because I'm jumping in and out too, so I didn't know. So you did say yeah?
I don't call myself a feminist.
Okay,
but
so
I am intersectional.
Huh?
I don't actually call myself.
So you do believe in intersectionality. You're on that camp. Okay, so see, I just wanted to be very clear about that. It is my belief the black community will never be a functional community as long as it's matriarchal. It is also my belief that
I would
intersectional
blame that on
feminism
supremacy.
is a
How
belonging
does a
of the
successful
black people.
matriarchal
So
community work?
no, I just want to
Hold on,
establish the actual lines here.
All right, no,
Because
Ed,
hold on,
you
because
have
everything,
no. I
because
was about to
everything
say
that
you have
always gets
to.
said when you talk about you hate
Mhm.
our rhetoric, like hate is a real strong word.
Yeah.
Hate is a real strong word to use, and there is no negotiation for this. It's either one or the other. That is what this is. Like, I want people to really understand that, because everybody has this idea that we can come to an understanding. No, you have folks that believe the women need to be in the lead and the men need to be the support group, and somehow we supposed to.
Right there. Hold on. Wait. Hold on. That's good. Wait a minute. That brings me right to.
And let's be very clear, what Edward Anderson said, there are women literally talking like that.
What if black women were supposed to be the leaders and black men are just supposed to protect with their muscles and use their listening ears and carry out instructions?
What Ed said there, that women are supposed to lead and the men are supposed to be the support group. That is how they think, Deante. They just not saying it. Well, not that often. Well, increasingly more often. Oh. Huh? Yes, Deante, what about the women? Huh? See, you could laugh and snicker and mock the men when you talking to FD signifier. It makes it real difficult to do that when Mr. Z could just keep on dropping video after video after video of black women talking like this. Do you need me to show you professional black women talking like that? I could do that too. I could go back to the 1970s and show you black women pretty much saying that. Uh-oh. Huh? What about the women? You damn right we're saying what about the women? Especially the young men saying it. Of course the young men are saying it. Huh? The young men are attempting to date and court black women. We're talking about young black men. They're attempting to date and court black women, and they're getting hit with.
Niggas be so quick to let me take you on a trip. Let me take you on a trip. Pay a fucking bill. Pay a bill. Pay a goddamn bill.
Always begging. Damn.
Can we get on the phone? No, get on the phone with billing. Don't talk to me. Talk to billing.
Huh? Yeah. Deante, I can show you different black women of different educational backgrounds, different class, different parts of the country, different build, different skin tone, different hair texture, different upbringing, Black American ADOS FBA, immigrants, children of immigrants, and they all sound like this. Yes, including your educated, including, wait for it, your PhDs. This is not limited to your average black woman. So when the young men say, what about the women? You might want to consider not just dismissing that, mocking it, making fun of it. If you actually care about a black community and black men, okay, y'all don't care about black men that much. All right, and black women, then maybe y'all might want to make the women more likable. Ooh, not you, Z, saying that. More likable so that black young men will stay and procreate and take care of black women and children. But as the black community currently stands, black godocracy, as it currently stands, an increasing amount of your young black men are dating and marrying outside, are having triple X fun with non-black women, having children with non-black women. Black men, particularly young black men, have every right to say, what about the women? It's a communal community-wide problem. There's no amount of just love yourself and work on yourself that y'all direct towards the men that's going to fix that. Huh? The women are wayward. Continuing.
You got how many kids?
I got two.
Two is enough. Two is enough for the example. If kid A comes to you and you like get on kid A, like, look, this behavior is not conductive of like being a better person. Like, this is not how I raised you. And he's like, but kid B did this. And it's like, nigga, I'm talking about you. Fuck him. I'm not talking about kid B.
Yeah.
So like when I'm talking to men, it's like, but what about women? It's like, are there women present? Right. Nigga, I'm talking to you.
The black manosphere, the manosphere niggas in general, the whole red pill.
They scare me a little bit.
They don't scare me, but scare how?
Scare
like
me
sadly or
sadly.
Yeah.
Like ironically, I'm scared of them because it's like, how did you end up like this? And like, what's the reverse engineering of this? Because the thing is like, you hate the thing you biologically want to pursue.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like if a nigga was hate, like I hate food, but I'm eating.
I mean, some of them probably low key.
You know what I'm saying?
There's a lot of undiagnosed behavioral health issues in that community.
Yeah, there's something going on.
I had because I used to check on them a lot more when I was smaller, and part of it was to just be like, all right, how do I make sure I understand these niggas, or how do I make sure these niggas understand me, but don't like feel comfortable in my presence? You know what I'm saying? Like I want all black men to feel like they can watch my shit and not feel completely, turned off by it. And everything ain't for everybody.
FD, that is a black man mocking and making fun of how the ladies are sounding, particularly on social media and the internet. We know he's being funny and mocking and exaggerating, but that's how they sound. You know it's bad when Delaney, when Ole, when Kim Foster are all embarrassed by the women on Pop the Balloon. And by the way, all of you, I'm not making that up, all of you have shown or expressed some reservation about how the women on Pop the Balloon sound and look. Yes, Delaney. Yes, Ole. Yes, Kim Foster. Now, did y'all check that? Did y'all make a very overt comment about it? No. But did y'all show some apprehension? Like, okay, they kind of make us look better a little bit. It's kind of embarrassing. Yes. Huh? We're going to continue with this, but let's be clear. This is not sustainable. This criticism of black men in a vacuum, this mocking of black men, particularly the black manosphere, of course. If you notice, your sons are moving accordingly. If they don't get a woman on their program, if they don't get a family, you don't get a community. It's that simple. And no, it doesn't matter how large your platform is. Pause. It doesn't matter how many subscribers or followers you have. How many people watch your think pieces, feel pieces. Because if you're not getting black women subsidized or paid for, if you're not getting them in the right careers and jobs to sustain themselves by themselves, then it doesn't matter what you're doing. Y'all are just playing violins and the cello and the piano. Y'all are playing the instruments on a sinking ship on the Titanic. It may make the women feel good as they dip beneath the waves, but that's it. Huh? And let's continue with that clip. Once again, like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. I'm going to read you guys super chats in a minute.
You got how many kids? I got two. Two is enough.
I'm really trying to take that. Y'all bear with technical difficulties. Continuing.
You got how many kids? I got two. Two is enough. Two is enough for the example. If kid A comes to you and you like get on kid A, like, look, this behavior is not conductive of like being a better person. Like, this is not how I raised you. And he's like, but kid B did this. And it's like, nigga, I'm talking about you. Fuck him. I'm not talking about kid B.
Yeah.
So like when I'm talking to men, it's like, but what about women? It's like, are there women present?
Right.
Nigga, I'm talking to you.
Well, the black manosphere, the manosphere niggas in general, the whole red pill.
They scare me a little bit.
They don't scare me, but scare how?
Scare me
sadly or
sadly.
Yeah.
Like ironically, I'm scared of them because it's like, how did you end up like this? And like, what's the reverse engineering of this? Because the thing is like, you hate the thing you biologically want to pursue.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like if a nigga was hate, like I hate food, but I'm eating.
I mean, some of them probably low key.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a lot of undiagnosed behavioral health issues in that community.
Yeah, there's something going on.
I had because I used to check on them a lot more when I was smaller, and part of it was to just be like, all right, how do I make sure I understand these niggas, or how do I make sure these niggas understand me, but don't like feel comfortable in my presence? You know what I'm saying? Like I want all black men to feel like they can watch my shit and not feel completely, turned off by it. And everything ain't for everybody, right? But I also I'm always trying to say, okay, how do I engage with this population without making that population feel like I'm part of their crew? Because I'll never forget when Kevin Samuels died, and I was like, essentially fuck that nigga. Niggas in my comment section was like, damn, FD, I can't believe you said about Kevin Samuels. Like, you can't? Fuck, what am I doing then? Because I'm not doing something right if you think.
Sometimes things happen to me like that. I'm like,
yeah. Like, how are you?
But then I realized too, I have a different issue than you have because you are not clip famous.
Yeah.
So like, in order to promote my podcast, I have to post clips on social, which means there's a lot of niggas that only know me from clips.
Right.
And so they haven't seen context. They haven't watched a full show. They haven't seen a lot of the details that go in. They just see the hits and the talking points.
Right.
And then it's like, well, I can't believe this your take. It's like, nigga, what are you talking about? This been my take from the beginning, but then I realized like, oh, you've never seen the show.
Right.
So you've
seen a bunch of clips.
Yeah. And you think you have an idea about who I am in a 3-minute clip. Yeah. This is a 2-hour show.
Yeah. Yeah.
You miss so much.
Yeah. Similarly. But what throws me though is like niggas will watch an hour-long video of me. One of my favorite like early videos I was talking about Baby Boy and like how people sleep on how Baby Boy is like one of the most important pieces of media for black men of our like generation ever made. And they think it's just Jody walking around being a fuckboy. It's like, yo, this boy is going through so much shit and the world is putting so much message towards him and he's expressing so many things. Y'all missing it. This nigga's a prostitute. And like people just being like, yeah, that's cool. And I'm like, no, this is deep. And so it's like, and I compared that to their eyes of watching God in the video. So I'm comparing it to this seminal black feminist text. And then like a week later, it's like, I can't believe you simping for black women like this. I'm like, what? Why would you even like be interested in what I have to say if that's like your standpoint? But one thing I also noticed from that experience, and even like going back to Kevin Samuels and why he was able to blow up the way he was, is that especially on YouTube, again, like the Instagram land is more fertile. There's so few black images, so few images of straight black men of an intellectual disposition for men to like engage with, that they'll take whoever they. Yeah. And even if they don't agree with you, they just want to hear that so they can be reminded of that aspect of their own humanity, even if they feel like you're full of shit and they hate everything you're saying. The hate watchers pay a lot of bills in the FD Signifier household. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And they'll willfully misunderstand you, they'll willfully misrepresent you. You were talking about like what's sad. So I just Googled some shit the other day, and it's like there's this black manosphere dude that's literally 75 years old. Literally 75 years old, posts 3-4 videos a week of him just talking to other black incels about how bad black women are. He just posted something about me, I think like yesterday. And it's like, oh, I gotta keep working. I gotta keep working. Because this shit is really sad. 75. So the question becomes, what happened in that man's life between 1975 and 1995 that solidified him into being a black manosphere talking head into his literal septuagenarian years?
Yeah, this is an elder, bro.
Right, this is an elder.
But not only that, you're an elderly content creator. This ain't even your bag right here. Yeah. But he found, I think it's important. Everybody needs to find community in a space that works for them. And the community space, even if it is toxic, it is a community.
Right.
And I think there's a desperation. This is like a quiet desperation within everybody that exists in like this internet age of really connecting with people. Mm-hmm. And I think sometimes it's like if I have to settle for virtual connection, right, then I'm gonna make the most out of this, which leads to like a lot of echo chambers of thought and like feedback loops of thought. And
people get sucked in and they lose track with not just reality, but like normal shit a lot. Yeah. That happens in every political spectrum, including the left. You said earlier, like what is to be done, and like the thing that I'm most proud of, folks try to act like me and you have all black women fan bases. And I regularly show my metrics that shows my shit is 75% men, 70% men at the lowest.
Yeah.
And you can tell it's black men because you can look at the comment section.
Yeah.
Unless I make a video about like wrestling or some shit. Yeah. It's a little different. But
yeah, I'm pretty well balanced between men and women. It is more men, but it's like not significant. It's like 55 or 60.
Yeah. But they'll act like it's all black women.
Well, because it's easier to call you a simp.
Yeah.
It's easier to say that you like pandering. You see what I'm saying? And like the pandering thing to me is just like, it's just lazy. It's like, pandering to what? Like, I'm not supposed to like my mom? Because then that's where we're going to get to. I'm not supposed to like the mother of my children. I'm not. I got a daughter. When I want to hate her too. So at every stage of life, you want me to hate women? It's just weird.
These niggas,
them. But
because some of these niggas do hate their mom,
and they hate their children too.
They hate their sisters. They hate their partners if they have them. And that's what you said. Sad, scary. That is the scary thing.
It is because they have to raise these kids,
right?
And
one of these kids might date my son. I was like, all right, son, I'm gonna tell you what you're dealing with.
Yeah, you're dealing with manosphere child, a red pill child,
red pill second generation.
Yeah. I'm curious. I know you grew up in Chicago.
Once again, the attempt to paint the Black manosphere as the weird fringe, old, weird uncle Negroes. And so I have this in the background, and it's Vince telling BGS, hey, FD mentioned you without mentioning you in his interview, right? And then BGS says, I didn't see it, so I couldn't tell you. And then Vince says, it was a blink and you'll miss it comment. He described you vaguely without sending traction or attention to you, but he is aware of you for sure, old man. And once again, to Vince, I said this earlier too. Vince, FD's been on BGS's panel, and he mentioned BGS in one of those think pieces, field piece that he did a couple of years ago on the Black manosphere, right? So FD knows about BGS. He can't school BGS. He tried to big man BGS on his own channel, right? It was actually a bit disrespectful, a lot of disrespectful. Even Kareen thought it was disrespectful. Randomly, Kareen was like, God damn, this is exactly because for him, it's about slaying, air quotes, our gods, right? That's what the defecating on Kevin Samuel's grave every chance he get is. Yes, it's about virtue signaling to women, Black women in specific, of course, but it's also about slaying your god. And as he said, is this your king? When he was trying to defecate on Kevin Samuels in front of us the other day. Look, the Black manosphere ideas have already reached escape velocity. You can't put the barn back in the barn back in the horse back in the barn, FD. You can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. It's too late. Now you're just throwing a temper tantrum. Huh? Now you're just throwing a temper tantrum. It's that simple. Y'all give me a second. Yeah, y'all. I caught that too. Yeah. Anyway, we gonna leave that one alone. I'm not even gonna address it. I'm not even gonna address it, right? But yeah, so this these dudes are weird, and then to call us, and I usually like to spell this word out, but he said it already, so whatever strikes I'm gonna get on YouTube, I'm gonna get them. Talking about that, like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. But to call Black men in the Black manosphere a bunch of incels when half of these dudes are in relationships, if not married, and they get in vagina. Incel, though. Huh? The literal word means involuntarily celibate. That's what incel actually means. I don't know if you want to call them, oh, I forgot. No, because I'm dealing with the left and postmodernism. So y'all took the word incel and now it means anything that isn't kissing Black women's ass concerning Black men. Yeah. Incel no longer has a definition. Now y'all use it colloquially for any Black man, well, for the Black incels at least, any Black man who isn't placating, lying, ego stroking Black women, lying to Black women. Oh yeah, and defecating on Black men for good measure too. Definitely the Black manosphere, right? Yeah. And you gotta appreciate it. Like, FD, this tour that you're going on to promote your Tyler Perry think piece, which I haven't watched yet, I'm gonna get to it. Okay, fine. And every chance you get, you would defecate on Kevin Samuels. Look, FD, your channel might surpass his in subscriber. But now we're talking about impact. And FD knows this. His real issue with Kevin Samuels was Kevin Samuels' impact. And what did Kevin Samuels present that wasn't already in the atmosphere anyway? Kevin Samuels put up a microphone and a camera and allowed for black women to show their complete rancor and contempt for black men. But damn, what did he do exactly? He just let black women talk. He let everyone see how delusional black women are, how mean they are, huh? How they objectify men, particularly black men, huh? As overglorified walking wallets, ATM machines, and guard dogs, huh? He allowed for the world to see the disrespect from young black women to adult, over the age of 50 black men. The reason why y'all hyper focus on Kevin Samuels, and that's for black men and black women, y'all are cowards because ain't nobody want to talk about all those black women that called into Kevin Samuels' show night after night after night, looking for a lifestyle wrapped in the package of a man, particularly a black man. Z, you gonna do your spiel? It was light-skinned women, dark-skinned women, slim women, heavy-set women, women from the West Coast, East Coast, Pacific Northwest, Midwest, down south, international, college educated, not college educated, white collar, blue collar, huh? All of these women calling into Kevin Samuels' show, the line was around the block. They were all looking for a particular type of man, black man. And they showed complete contempt for all the men who don't fit this very narrow archetype. And instead of addressing the hordes of women that called into Kevin Samuels' show, many of which call into Kendra G's show nowadays and Ashley Dalton's show nowadays, instead of y'all addressing that, what is wrong with modern women where they don't want to take on the full freight of female empowerment liberation? What part of the game is one foot in patriarchy, one foot in feminism? Why do women get to keep their gendered pleasures? No. If y'all want equality, you gotta eat every single bit of it. No more a la carte patriarchy, a la carte feminism, as Mr. Z likes to say. Patriarchy by feminist specifications. Those days are done. They're gone. And instead of y'all addressing all the women that called into Kevin Samuels' show and essentially said through words and definitely through action that they are looking for a certain type of man, but they're not going to give that man nothing but they ass to kiss. Not the undesirable men, not the non-select men, no. The select men that all of them are looking for, they want him for their mere presence. They want him to have all of these things, the whole checklist checked off, and what he gets is her presence. Instead of you men and you women addressing that Kevin Samuels showed the black community where the issue lies, y'all would rather defecate and urinate on this man's grave because y'all are cowards. Huh? Kevin Samuels didn't just stay there monologuing all day. The second half of his show, if not 2/3 of his show, night after night, was him speaking to women. Young women, old women. Educated, not educated. Status, no status. And what did we learn? We learned that black women had insane amounts of contempt for black men who didn't fit a very narrow box. Not only do you cowards not address that, y'all won't even go back and say, okay, look, I done watched some of those videos and ooh, yeah, about that. Okay, I'm not saying that Kevin Samuels had a point, I'm just saying. Y'all are definitely afraid to watch Kevin Samuels after the monologue. Huh? Of course you are. It's straight cowardice. So yes, what about the women, Deante? And let's be clear also to FD Signifier. I would argue the issue isn't necessarily black men wanting to see intelligent, intellectual black men represent them only. It's not just that. It's also to have someone say of a certain caliber, I see you, I know what you're talking about, and yes, that's an issue. Why Kevin Samuels resonated with so many black men, particularly of a certain class, is not simply because he presented well, he spoke well, and he was intellectual. That's not simply it. That's not it. You're missing it either on purpose or you actually are missing it. No, FD. It's because it was Kevin Samuels as a white collar brother saying to blue collar black men and to white collar black men with the name and the status, but maybe without the money, that I see you, and yes, what you are saying about wayward black women is a thing. Yes, it's real. Yes, they're wayward. Yes, they're sexist. Yes, they're hypocritical. Yes, they have one foot in patriarchy and one foot in feminism. Huh? Yes, they're shallow. Yes, they're spendthrift. Yes, they're consumerist. Yes, they're materialistic. Yes, they see you as nothing but an over-glorified guard dog. Yes, they see you as nothing but an ATM machine. Yes, they have the tendency to dehumanize black men. Oops. It's not simply an intelligent, educated black man that presented well. It's an intelligent, educated black man that for the first time in a very long time said, you know what, black men? You're right. You know what, black men? Without him necessarily saying it, with the women showing it and saying it, you know what? You everyday black men, you salt of the earth black men, you average black men, you a little bit above average black men, you a little bit below average black men. I am talking to these ladies day in, day out. Look at what they won't do. Look at what they're reluctant to do for the men they actually desire. It is up to you whether you want to pursue these women even after you've seen what they think. It is up to you. It is up to you whether you decide you're going to still do right by them. It is up to you whether you decide if you're going to still do right by the black community. But I see you. I acknowledge what you're saying, your plight, your issues with attempting to form and keep a family with women who think like this, right? I see you. That's what the impact was. I get it. That's what Kevin Samuels was saying. I get it. That you are in a community full of, well, women like
I
this.
don't care if I have 1, 2, 3, or 10 kids with somebody. Once the love is gone, once shit gets toxic, I'm not staying for the kids. Why? Because whatever's unhealthy for me is unhealthy for my kids. And sometimes the most healthiest situation for the kids is for us to separate. Your children's mental well-being is at stake here. And honestly, they deserve to see you being loved, whether it's you loving yourself or someone loving you. Oh, but I want my family. It's 2021. Families come in all shapes and sizes. You're still a family. You could find somebody with their own kids and make a blended family. Blended families are fucking beautiful. We're not in the fucking 1930s. You're not stuck anymore. We're not fucking stuck. We're free to do whatever the fuck we want in the pursuit of our happiness. Bars.
Now that young lady might be Latina. With that FD, that is what black young men are talking about. That is what black men are talking about. Deante, that is what they're talking about. You could call them incel all you want. What you're finding is an increasing amount of upwardly mobile black men and even the salt of the earth black men are not simply having interracial triple X fun with non-black women. They're actually marrying non-black women. I would argue this is why black men's marriage rate is increasing while black women's marriage rate is stagnant. It's not just a pop culture conversation. It's not just some high school anger and resentment, some college age anger and resentment. It might be that for the ladies, though. It's not that. For you to say about BGS that he's a 75-year-old who 3 or 4 times a week just gathers a bunch of incels essentially and spews his rhetoric, anti-black women rhetoric. Wait, do you not watch BGS? Did he not cover Paulie Murray? Uh-oh. Huh? Francis Cress Welsing getting caught up in a conversation? Uh-oh. Wait, so BGS is just spewing anti-black women nonsense all day, every day? FD, this is why half the brothers that listen to me are telling me that I'm wasting my breath because you're full of crap. FD, do you even know who Paulie Murray is? And if you do, when did you learn about her? Did she not admit to selling out the civil rights movement to the feminist? To the white feminist? Huh? Did she not admit to saying to black men, this is the way we go, and if you got a problem with that, you got to come to see me? Is that a figment of our imagination, or is that real? Huh? We have these folks that are attempting their hardest to drown us out, right? What Steve Bannon said, flood the zone? FD, you can't flood the zone on us, bro. You want to know why? Too much pain in the system. Shout out to KMS. Too much pain in the systems. The young men, the underage, they're having real experiences with black girls and black women, young black women. They're having real experiences. You can't flood the zone enough. You can't run ahead of us enough and be like, you see those guys over there? They're going to come over here soon enough, and they're going to tell you some really sexist and weird stuff about black women. Don't listen to them. You can't run ahead of us enough. Because when that black woman puts that dagger through his heart, when he realized he was a victim of a foodie call, when he realized she put him in the friend zone and was fully intending to keep him there, there's nothing you or Deante or Conscious Lee or Little Bill or Professor Odie or Alvin from Waving the Red Flag, there's nothing y'all can do to fix that. Huh? Yeah. When he checks one of those ladies and she say, if you want to link me, hit my Cash App. You know, the other day on Coach Greg Adams' channel, he had a segment where he played these two, they weren't homely looking, but you know, these two middle of the road looking young women. One of them was white, one of them was light skinned, looser curl hair, glasses, a little bookish looking, no, somewhat nerdy looking. She was cute enough. She was kind of cute. Young lady. She was what, in her early 20s? Admitted to what, dating someone, I think he was what, in his 40s? And the white girl looked at her like, what? The light-skinned young lady was one of the most unsuspected. You would have never expected it. Now, in the Black Manosphere, we would have. But unsuspecting, like so undescript, however you say the word, regular, plain Jane looking, cute enough, light-skinned young lady. Out here getting her sugar baby on with a middle-aged man. FD. That's what the young men are running into. I'm purposely describing that light-skinned young lady to say she didn't have the quote-unquote look. She didn't have the baddie look. Air quotes, the baddie look. She didn't have the air quotes sugar baby look. Huh? She didn't even speak like one. Do you get it? Yeah. She didn't have the long eyelashes and the weavy wonder thing going. From what I could see, there were no tattoos visible. FD, that's what the young men are running into. You can't insult them out of that experience. You can't explain that away. You can't minimize black women's misbehavior enough. Black women are human beings. They're not morally superior, definitely not to black men. Now, if you want to talk to black people about being morally superior to other folks, that's a different conversation. But black women specifically morally superior to black men, it doesn't exist. Black women being more loyal to the black community, or black women being more loyal to the opposite sex than black men are to the opposite sex, not true. Just because she can't land the white man to marry her does not mean she's more loyal. This is what young black men in specific, but black men in aggregate are running into, that y'all like to minimize. That is why Kevin Samuels' impact was, well, so impactful. Huh? That's a good question. And Harambe says, if the Black Manosphere is so dead, why does he keep speaking on it? That's the question. Because it's a battle for the minds of the young men. It's a battle for the minds of the young black men. This is not about any of us really probably over the age of 35. Definitely over the age of 40. This is not about us. This is about the young men, really 30 and younger, 25 and younger. That's what this is about. Especially you young men in your teens who's listening. That's what this is about. It's a battle for the minds of the young men. Mr. Z doesn't preach hate on my channel. Hate for anyone, namely black women. But I acknowledge black women in their hypocrisy, their wayward behavior, their sexism and misandry. We speak about that here. We highlight that here. Unlike what y'all do over there, minimize it and try to explain it away. And then wag your finger at black men. And Buckeye fan says, and thank you for the super chat, do you have the link for the FD on BGS stream? I do not. I will look for it. This was a couple of years ago. This was maybe sometime around 23, 24, right? Late 23, maybe early 24, mid 24, 2024, something like that. Yeah, I don't have it, but I can try to remember when that was. Yeah, and then kind of narrow the window. But yeah, I don't have it. And thank you for the super chat, Buckeye fan. Thank you for the super chat. Talking about that. And Koturo says, FD wannabe had Negro in charge so bad, but had to take a bid down and smile with Grimace on Themis and Thaw. Revenge of the nerd type. Yeah, no, exactly. When for those of you that don't know, so what Kotoro is referencing is when FD was on Themis and Thaw and Cynthia G flamed him. There's that, and Themis flamed him. Right? Themis flamed him for even having a conversation with us. And Cynthia G didn't speak of him like he was any different than us. Than the Black Manosphere. Right? And also, FD said on Themis channel once, and this is where I get it from, that he's not worried about us, the Black Manosphere. He's working around us, the Black Manosphere, right? He has either worked around us or he's working around us. So thank you for the super chat, Kotoro. Thank you for the super chat. But yes, I remember that. Cynthia G was dressing him down. No pun. And he ate that. And thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. And Eric Denman says, I really hope KS daughter sues the hell out of FD for defamation because he announced his intentions on social media. Look, to destroy his legacy, I see where you're coming from, but FD won't. He can't do it. He won't get that accomplished. It won't happen. Not from a lack of trying, but simply put, and shout out to KMS, it was a genius comment. There's just too much pain in the system. There's just FD and all of his ilk, all of the cornbread tube just refuse to wayward black men. Say I said wayward black men. That they do every day. Wayward black women. They refuse to acknowledge that it's not just wayward black men. There we go. Wayward black women. They'll talk about wayward black men all day, every day. Emphasize it. Exaggerate it, actually. But the wayward, loud, brash, sexist, maybe not even so loud, sexist black women, they just refuse. Because in their mind, and FD said it on my channel. As a matter of fact, I need to go find that and snip it out. That in his mind, he would be doing too much harm. He said, first of all, it's not his job. Okay, fine. Men in the men's restroom, women in the women's restroom. Okay, fine. But then to say, also, you don't want to do it because just in case he spends 5 seconds critiquing and criticizing these sexist ass black women, the men and the young men who would watch that, he doesn't want to encourage them essentially to be anti-black women, is what he said to me on my channel. So FD is not going to be able to besmirch Kevin Samuels' name any more than they already tried to. Him and the others. Simply put, once again, too much pain in the system. Shout out to Lion. As I've said before, the Black Manosphere is not handing out pamphlets, flyers. We're not recruiting. Maybe the algorithm is sending some young men our way, but I would argue it's not even that. The young men come seeking us because y'all don't have the answers over there. Y'all just refuse to tell the young men, hey, look, you might want to expand your options. Oops. Look, some of these women, yes, they are little sexist monsters. Yes, yes. Huh? Now, FD did mention that some of y'all hate black men. He did mention that when he spoke about black men in college and how essentially black women were talking all type of crazy. And not FD, Foreign Man in a Foreign Land, I played it before here, did mention how black women see their own femininity and how black men play a role in that, essentially saying, if you were man, I would be woman. And the reason why I don't have nice things is because you're not man, so I can't be woman. But yeah, Eric Denman, they're not, fail. And thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. All right. So that's what it is. Let me read Leon's super chat. And he just has a bunch of laughing and devil horns and ghost emojis. And he says, the pick, right? And yeah, no, shout out to Louis for that. Shout out to Red Pill Sleeper Cell for the background. And thank you for the super chat. Leon, thank you for the super chat. I know. Right, talk about that. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. And thank you for the super chat. Right? And so we have these folks who claim to care about the black community, the upliftment, the preservation, to kind of shake off the shackles of the poverty and just being the sin eaters of America when it's really black men, but being the sin eaters of America, being the stepping stone for every other group in America. They want a truly liberated people and a truly liberated individual. Understandable. It's understandable. But good luck with that when an increasing amount of your black sons are exploring other options outside of the black community. And I'm not just speaking about the women. I'm not just saying that the black men are seeking the shock y'all should have got with the voter turnout concerning black men. The 2024 election should have woke y'all up. It should have shook y'all to sleep. But apparently not. Apparently not. Huh? And once again, Leon, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. And I am Waffle says, whoopee means white men, but won't say that. Yeah. What do you mean, like, whoopee means, like, the black community? Yeah, well, look. Whoopi Goldberg, we already know her past concerning white men. That Whoopi clip is gold. Shout out to Ed. Because she said the quiet part out loud. It's not simply that she said the black community is a matriarchy. And shout out to Sonny Hostin also. It's that she said black men are used to black women telling them what to do. She said that outright. That's what makes that clip so crucial. That's why I play these clips where the women, black women in specific in this case, are so overt and leave no room for interpretation.
Well, look, for me, it has never really been about black man or man. It's been about men. Mm-hmm. You know, there's this myth out there that black men can't handle being spoken to, you know, and told what to do by black women. black men come from our bodies.
Yeah.
So black men have black mothers. So they're used to having these conversations with women.
The matriarchy is
You know,
strong with the black
It is
community.
very strong.
Yeah.
Conversations with women.
The matriarchy is
You know.
strong with the black
It is
community.
very...
Huh? Black men are used to black women telling them what to do, as Whoopi said. Oh, man. Huh? So that's why that clip from Whoopi is priceless, right? And thank you for the super chat. I'm Waffles. Thank you for the super chat. And Saint Cyr says, and thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Saint Cyr says, you are not allowed to check the women folk. The women folk are allowed to critique, undermine, and disrespect men because of intersectionality and the patriarchy. The standard is the double standard. Yes, the standard is the double standard. You can also pull this when you think you're morally superior, when you have the moral compass, and when you're informed by intersectionality and standpoint theory. Huh? When you are informed by all of these justifications on why you should or could be these little antagonistic, arrogant assholes, these little super sassy, smug assholes, because your attitude is, y'all owe me this. This is me getting my 50 pounds of flesh from your ass, because all the rest of you sit higher up on the hierarchy. So what's a little disrespect from me? Huh? What's a little sass for me? You sit higher up on the hierarchy. You sit higher up on the ladder. So what's a little sass from me? I get what informs this. Huh? The punching up, punching down. Huh? There's a difference. I'm punching up, you're punching down. Particularly concerning gender, sex, low-key ain't telling you to be a real man and just eat their crap. Huh? Low-key, that's what they're saying. They're saying, yes, it's hypocritical, now accept it. And to be fair, Uzi, maybe that wouldn't be so difficult of a proposition to accept if the women were on our program. If the women were on Black Men's program, but she sassed a little bit, a teeny tiny bit, okay. Huh? She's still a woman. She's still a human being. It's to be expected. Huh? She's an adult. We expect back talk. But the fact that Black women are insistent on being as insufferable as humanly possible and then chastise you for showing your passport online, oops. That's when we get into an issue. Huh? The fact that Black women speak as if, I don't know, why would Black men date a non-Black woman? It gotta be the colorism, futurism, texturism, fat phobia. It gotta be that he hate his mama. It gotta be the anti-Blackness. Huh? Because why in the world else would you date and marry outside of a Black woman? You gotta be anti-Black. There's tens of millions of Black women in America. You couldn't find one? Huh? And the answer to that question is maybe. Uh-oh. Huh? And once again, Saints here, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Oh, man. Yes, I actually agree with this. And Ross says FD is asking black men to accept being treated as less than a man like we have been for 60 years. Black men's tolerance simply ran out. I think that, and I think also black men have been exposed to, enough black men at least, have been exposed to different women's orientation, outlook on family, on child rearing and childbearing, on manhood and masculinity and womanhood, and just what it is to be a kind man. See, black women take black men for granted. Black women also believe in black men being man not. They take you for granted. They kind of want you, but at the same time, you're kind of a burden, right? And they don't understand why any other woman would want black men. It got to be fetishism. Like, why would you want a black man? Like, you do know they're broken, right? Like, I know some of the tall, good-looking black men. I can understand why you want one of those, or one of the rich black men. But like, the Latinas that are holding your hands, and you make $58,000 a year, that blows black women's mind. They're like, but he's only 5'9", 5'8", 5'10". He has a dad bod. Why would you want him? Because your average black woman, maybe not all, almost all, maybe not all, takes black men for granted. Huh? All the things that black men are and do, how involved black men are as fathers, the domestic labor that black men do, the emotional labor that black men do, that black women just simply take for granted. They just simply take it for granted. It's nothing to them. I mean, you're not rich, tall, good looking, and you're not white. Huh? The words of wisdom, the guidance, the manhood and masculinity, black women just simply take it for granted. Mr. Z is like shrugging his shoulders right now. They simply just take it for granted. It's nothing. Huh? They're on some Beyonce top time. I could just get another you in a minute. Huh? Don't ever think you're irreplaceable. That's black women. They just simply take it for granted. It ain't nothing. So when they see you walking around with the Latina, they swear it's just fetishism, or you bought her. When they see you walking around with the white girl, they just think it's fetishism, or you bought her. Or as the young lady said on Lene's platform, he gotta be weak. He must be weak. Okay, let's go with it. What about if he is? Now what? Huh? So shout out to Raw. Yeah, no, simply put, look, black women just take black men for granted. That's all. They think that the non-black woman, the white woman, the Latinas, if you have a East or South Asian, indigenous, they just think those women are with you out of some sort of fetishism, or you had to beg and plead that woman. You was crawling and scraping on knees to get that woman, or you bought her. So for you brothers who are not particularly tall, huh? You may not be the greatest looking. The lady, when black women see you, especially if your Latina girlfriend or wife is cute, if your white girlfriend or wife is cute, oh, they definitely think you bought her. It's the money. It's the fetishism. It's the triple X fun, and it's the money. Now, the triple X fun, they might not be wrong about that part. Huh? Yeah. They actually don't think that it's because of your charisma, because of your wisdom, because how you don't see washing dishes as an affront to your masculinity necessarily. Now, if she's trying to get a Masters of the Universe, shout out to KMS, Genghis Khan ain't washing no damn dishes. But for the rest of us, that you don't see that as an affront to your manhood and masculinity. That you can have soft and tender moments with your children and not feel any less of a man. Black women just simply take that crap for granted. Shout out to all those black women trying to do the reach back. Huh? Shout out to Only Logical. Shout out to Accountable Commentary, who both have covered black women of varying ages, particularly young black women, trying to do the reach back after they done dealt with 1 or 2 or 3 white dudes. No. You thought there was something better over there? Stay your ass over there. Huh? Simply put, black women just don't value black men. They don't see what non-black women see in you, especially if you're not particularly tall, good looking, and you're not rich. That's why I keep on emphasizing, when they see y'all walking down the street with your cute Latina or white woman or Asian woman, they swear you bought her. It's the XXX activity. It gotta be that. Because, I mean, what else does a black man offer? Huh? Black women are human beings. Black women in America, black women born and raised in America are American. They matriculate through the education system also. They watch the television shows also. They watch the movies also. They read the books also, even though in the black community we don't read that much. But, so that means that black women also believe that black men are man not. And how that manifests in black women is that she don't know why the hell these non-black women like your ass. What is it about black men? Particularly the ones that's not tall like LeBron James, could fight like Mike Tyson, or good looking like whoever the hell they think is super good looking. Morris Chestnut, whoever the hell. Huh? Michael B. Jordan. Huh? Or who don't have status. Future. Huh? 50 Cent. Jay-Z. Diddy. Not Diddy. Diddy gonna come back out, he gonna have another woman. Stop it. And she gonna be attractive, and we know it. Huh? He might get back with Young Miami. She held him down. He might actually give her the baby. Right? And Rod, thank you for that comment. Thank you for that comment. And let's read this from the Arena Revise. And thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. And the Arena Revise says, critique of brothers is framed as a presumptive good. Critique of sisters is framed as a gateway to mass femicide. I want to do a whole stream on that comment right there. As a matter of fact, let's screenshot that. Yep, got it. Let's unhighlight it and screenshot it. Boom, got it. Okay, you might get a whole stream on that one. Let's see if I have the time. Boom. Yeah, you might get a whole stream on that one, the Arena Revise. Right? Oh, man. And that's exactly what it is, the Arena Revise. That's exactly what I'm describing. Critique of brothers is framed as a presumptive good. Critique of sisters is framed as a gateway to mass femicide. That comment right there says everything. That is how it is framed, particularly in the black community. I would argue in larger Western society also. I think that comment we can expand out to larger Western society, but definitely exaggerated in the black community. That when we critique men, it's presumed as it's a good thing. When we critique women, we got to be careful, because we could slip and slide right into some extreme sexism, right? And misogyny. You know what? Let's go with it. Fine, for argument's sake. Let's say they're right. No, Z, let's not say they're right. Nope, nope, nope. Let's say they got a point. So we just not gonna say nothing to the ladies ever, though? Okay, fine. We gotta be uber careful not to slip and slide into some sexism and misogyny talk. So we just gonna let the women be wayward and be sexist and be hypocritical and want their patriarchy by feminist specifications. Ain't nobody gonna say nothing. So no one is going to say anything. Huh? Yeah. And not only that, we're gonna turn a blind eye to women's sexism and their hypocrisy. Huh? We have women celebrating the decreasing birth rate as a way to punish men and society for not kissing their ass and turning this into a matriarchy. And it's not just black women. We have women on the interwebs and in real life celebrating the decreasing birth rate, celebrating the impending doom. The impending doom that's going to knock them right upside the head. Huh? Yeah. Wow. So we're gonna play these again and you know give a little bit of commentary again, but I enjoyed, especially y'all know Mr. Z politics is left of center for the most part. And so I enjoyed the conversation before and definitely after they got into some, you know, standard issue leftist talk. Sorry to all my conservative and centrists. Standard issue leftist talk. But they had to make a pit stop in anti-Kevin Samuelsville. Mr. Z, you making up words now, I know. They had to make a pit stop and defecate on Kevin Samuelsville. Where's the grave? Okay, let me go urinate on it. Huh? And before we get to FD and FD Signifier and Deante Kyle again, I want to emphasize to FD Signifier in specific, but also Deante Kyle, what you're not going to get is black men, particularly young black men, moving and thinking like Cameron. What are you talking about, Z? Moving and thinking like this.
I think that's what love can do. My fantasy with her is that she and I are at a social function together, and I'm talking too much about something, and she's like,
"Baby, shut up."
Shut up.
You need that.
Reel it in.
My wife does that. She's done that well before I was FD Signifier. She always knew I could be FD Signifier because I would run my mouth and need to be told to shut up. And like what that speaks to, I think what Cameron's getting at is, I think is very, Cameron, you're gonna be all right. She's gonna choose.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Because
is this podcast just everybody shooting their shot?
No, but seriously, no, because it's the idea that of having a partner that will call you on your shit speaks to them choosing to love you from a place of agency versus loving that fantasy concept as Issa presented. And there's something I think all of us want to be fantasized about and flattered in that way. And like, yeah, I'm the man, I'm the woman, I'm the in-between, etc. Like you want that. But what's actually great long term is a person who has an actual very good, accurate image of you, knows where to fit in and what to push against and what to emphasize, and is consistent and effective at doing that. And then vice versa, you can do the same.
But I actually think this is why a lot of people stay in the situationship realm, because that what you just described requires being known, which means you have to let someone know you, which requires trusting the process of letting someone love you through all of what Cameron's talking about.
And this
I
is
think
why I overshare on podcasts. So
that's what is seen as loving everyone. A woman telling you to shut up in a public social function. FD backs up Cameron by saying, "You're gonna be all right." and then goes on to essentially say this is a person that has an accurate reading of you and knows where to get in and kind of correct some of your wrongs by telling you to shut up in public. Not, hey, babe, you're doing too much. Hey, babe, you're making everybody feel awkward and weird. No, not a little whisper in the ear telling you to shut up. And Cameron saying this is his dream. FD, you're not going to get that, bro. Good luck on that one. Huh? Good luck on that. Huh? Nice. It's going to be the funniest thing in the world trying to watch them sell that soap. Huh? This is Cameron's dream. And I would argue in the ideal female leftist world, white, black, Latina, Asian, or otherwise, this is the type of demeanor they would like for women to have. Because that couples up perfectly with this.
Black women were supposed to be the leaders, and black men are just supposed to protect with their muscles and use their listening ears and carry out instructions.
That perfectly aligns with this.
I think that's what love can do.
My fantasy with her is that she and I are at a social function together, and I'm talking too much about something, and she's like,
"Baby, shut the
shut up."
You need that.
Reel it in.
My wife does that. She's done that well before I was FD signifier. She always knew I could be FD signifier because I would run my mouth and need to be told to shut up. And like,
huh? Good luck selling that to your average man, let alone black man. Good luck on that. Y'all just, you know what? To save us some time, y'all just need to try to just bogart higher taxes and bastard tax to men. Just save us the time, and y'all go ahead and try to do that. So we, Z, don't say that. You don't want to get your channel snatched. Okay. Yeah, y'all just go ahead and try to do that, and let's see how that turns out. Because ain't nobody paying for these 304s. No, we're not doing it. Nope. And by the way, most of them don't earn enough. Huh? It's just not gonna happen. And Big Mo says, and thank you for the super chat, FD is advocating for black women to have black men by the balls. Essentially. But like, have us by the balls, but that's not how we interpret it. Once again, this is a battle for the minds of the young men. The minds of the young men. M-I-N-D-S, the minds of the young black men. Because let me say this. I don't know if that's FD's goal for real. I do know that if we continue on this road that he's speaking about, that is where we're going to end up. I'll say that, Big Mo. I cannot tell you what FD Signifier's goal is. Right? As a matter of fact, on Bernard Riley's channel, he kind of spoke to this. That is not his goal, is not necessarily matriarchy. But essentially, black men are not going to be able to lift this by themselves. And black women are best positioned to kick down that door of black liberation and help to crush black oppression. If I heard him correctly on Bernard Riley's channel, that he's not actually pro-matriarchy, but black women are best positioned. I don't know about that anymore. It wasn't true even when he said it, but I don't know about that anymore. But once again, black women are best positioned. It's the same line. It's the same Pauli Murray line. It's what Pauli Murray was telling black men about white women. White women are best positioned to kick down the door and to help all, air quotes, marginalized people get their just due, right? And like, that's essentially what I heard FD saying on Bernard Riley's channel. Right? So Big Mo, I don't know if that is what I agree with you that that will be the end result. Is that black women do have black men by the balls. But I don't know if that's necessarily FD Signifier's goal. I think he knows that's a possibility if we were to continue down this road he's talking about. But what's so wrong with that? And he said that on Bernard Riley's channel. Like, there's nothing inherently wrong with the matriarchy. Yes, when the men stop buying in, that's the problem. Y'all can't get enough men to buy in. FD, that's the real reason why you defecate on Kevin Samuel's show. You just don't got the balls to say it. Talking about having the balls. Y'all got scared. Oh, Mr. Z gonna use a profanity? No, not yet. Y'all got scared crapless. Huh? Turdless with those election results. Concerning black men, y'all got scared crapless. Huh? So the end result of the way FD speaks, yeah, Big Mo, that's where we end up. And don't let it be lost on you what I said earlier. Black women having black men by the balls, and then the black community calling that a form of egalitarianism. They won't call it matriarchal. Huh? Because when you admit that it is matriarchal, gynocratic, when you admit that it is matriarchal, then everything that fails, you put the onus on the women. White society, if white society had a bunch of black women running around saying the black community is a matriarchy, gynocracy, a matriarchy, then everybody understands, first of all, they're going to treat black men like they soft as baby poop. But secondly, everyone now understands that when a young black child does something off, harms someone, does something illegal, you don't ask where your daddy is. You don't even ask where your parents is. It's always going to be where your mama is. They kind of do that now to make fun of the black community, but we all will appreciate, the entire America world will appreciate that the black community in America is a matriarchy, and the onus for everything wrong and wayward and upside down, the onus goes to black women. So I would argue if the black community is black women holding black men by the balls, then you got to get black men to not see it that way, to see that as the rightful order of things, to not see that as backwards and unnatural, and to not feel a certain way when you see the dynamics in other non-black communities in America. To not question yourself when you see boss hog white men running their families and taking control of things. To actually see that as backwards. Huh? Yeah. So Big Mo, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Talking about that. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat, and let's play this second half again.
You got how many kids? I got two. Two is enough. Two is enough for the example. If kid A comes to you and you like get on kid A, like, look, this behavior is not conductive of like being a better person. Like, this is not how I raised you. And he's like, but kid B did this. And it's like, nigga, I'm talking about you. Fuck him. I'm not talking about kid B. Yeah. So like when I'm talking to men, it's like, but what about women? It's like, are there women present? Right. Nigga, I'm talking to you.
The black manosphere, the manosphere niggas in general.
But we're always talking to black men. Wait, we're not talking to black men. Sorry. We're talking at black men. We're always talking at black men. Huh? Y'all forgot Tiffany Cross kind of chastised. Which one was it on that channel on their podcast? Which one was it? Was it the former mayor of Tallahassee, or was it Was it Andrew Gillum or was it the other one? Bakari Sellers. She went in on one of them because she was just railing on her and what's her face? Not Amanda Seals. I forgot her name. Anyway, Angela Rye. Her and Angela Rye just railing on, and one of them was so quiet. Was it Bakari Sellers? No, I think it was Andrew Gillum. Andrew Gillum was the one that was quiet, right? And she got on him for being quiet. You want to know why? Because first of all, two mamas are talking, number one. Number two, going to what I'm saying here, we're always getting on black men. When are we not talking at black men? That's a real, if first of all, they're not going to listen this far. They're not going to listen to this at all. But if Deante Kyle was ever to listen to this and get this far, that is a real question. When are we not talking at black men? When are we not talking at black boys? That is a real question. Continuing.
You got how many kids? I said two. Two is enough. Two is enough for the example. If kid A comes to you and you like get on kid A, like, look, this behavior is not conductive of like being a better person. Like, this is not how I raised you. And he's like, but kid B did this. And it's like, nigga, I'm talking about you. Fuck him. I'm not talking about kid B.
Yeah.
So like when I'm talking to men, it's like, but what about women? It's like, are there women present? Right. Nigga, I'm talking to you.
Well, the black manosphere, the manosphere niggas in general, the whole red pill.
They scare me a little bit.
They don't scare me, but scare how?
Scare me
sadly or
sadly.
Yeah.
Like ironically, I'm scared of them because it's like, how did you end up like this? And like, what's the reverse engineering of this? Because the thing is like, you hate the thing you biologically want to pursue.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like if a nigga was hate, like I hate food, but I'm
okay. That part too. Who hate black women? Who hates black women? Y'all just fling this word out, hate. Most of the black men speaking, they're not foaming at the mouth. They don't hate black women just because they don't ignore their misbehavior, their wayward behavior, their sexism and misandry. Oh, maybe what you're saying is acknowledging that and having something to say about it is the hate. I mean, if that's what you're saying, then I get it. Huh? Oh man. Hate. I would argue it's not hate. Who hate? Black men don't hate black women. Black men in the manosphere, for the most part, they don't hate black women. I know there's one or two dudes that done said something crazy. They don't hate black women. I would argue what they hate is people like you, both men and women, who refuse to acknowledge black women's sexism, anti-blackness, misandry, and always directed right back to, it's always Jermaine's fault, black men. Y'all are doing the same thing the weirdo leftists do. Y'all are weirdo leftists that are black. But where when we talk about men and something that men or boys are doing wrong, or an individual man or boy is doing wrong, we make sure to emphasize man or boy. When the women or a woman, black woman, has harmed someone, has a off the wall take, has said something insane or done something really, really heinous, we say people if it's women, we say society if it's women, right? And if it's an individual woman, we minimize that it was a woman. Huh? Exactly, Els. Well, actually, let me highlight Els' comment real quick. It's black people. Black men going in a direction that these folks think is not conducive to the black community, they make sure to say black men. Black women are doing something that's not conducive, then we say black people. L's Active, you 100% right on that one. 100% right on that. And the Arena Revive says they use air quotes misogyny like Zoes use oh yeah, I get what you say. I get what you said. Yeah. Zios use anti-Semitism. I never heard the term Zios before. Hysterical. So we just gonna abbreviate it to Zios? Oh, that's hysterical. Oh man, I don't know if I can't use that in public. That's funny. Yes. And by the way, I got your point. Yes, they do use it as a shield. They do use it as a shield. And as an attack weapon too. Oops. But as a shield. Right? They do hide behind that term. Right? Definitely get your point. And thank you for the super chat. Exactly. Right? But I want to emphasize that to Deante Kyle. I don't know about hatred. I think you're going too far with that.
My best question is in your opinion, is the black community a patriarchy, a matriarchy, a gynocracy, or an other?
The community itself is probably more matriarchal than patriarchal. The culture.
I appreciate you.
That's what they hate. Continuing.
You got how many kids? I got two. Two is enough. Two is enough for the example. If kid A comes to you and you like get on kid A, like, look, this behavior is not conductive of like being a better person, like this is not how I raised you. And he's like, but kid B did this, and it's like, nigga, I'm talking about you. Fuck him. I'm not talking about kid B.
Yeah.
So like when I'm talking to men, it's like, but what about women? It's like, are there women present? Right. Nigga, I'm talking to you.
Well, the black manosphere, the manosphere niggas in general, the whole red people.
They scare me a little bit.
They don't scare me, but scare how?
Scare me
sadly or
sadly.
Yeah.
Like ironically, I'm scared of them because it's like, how did you end up like this? And like, what's the reverse engineering of this? Because the thing is like, you hate the thing you biologically want to pursue.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like if a nigga was hate, like I hate food, but I'm eating.
I mean, some of them probably low key.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a lot of undiagnosed behavioral health issues in that community.
Yeah, there's something going on.
I had because I used to check on them a lot more when I was smaller, and part of it was to just be like, all right, how do I make sure I understand these niggas, or how do I make sure these niggas understand me, but don't like feel comfortable in my presence? You know what I'm saying? Like I want all black men to feel like they can watch my shit and not feel completely, turned off by it. And everything ain't for everybody, right? But I also I'm always trying to say, okay, how do I engage with this population without making that population feel like I'm part of their crew? Because I'll never forget when Kevin Samuels died, and I was like, essentially, fuck that nigga. Niggas in my comment section like, damn, FD, I can't believe you said about Kevin Samuels. Like, you can't? Fuck, what am I doing then? Because I'm not doing something right if you think.
Sometimes things happen to me like that. I'm like,
like, how are you?
But then I realized too.
And someone said this earlier, he really didn't get it. And FD, do you really not get it? Or are you just saying this for the show? For Deante Kyle's show? FD is correct. His attempt to tear down Kevin Samuels' legacy, although it will be futile and he will fail, it's good that he's attempting to attack Kevin Samuels' legacy. What are you saying, Z? No, we need him to try to crush Kevin Samuels' legacy so he can fail at it and then assess why he failed at it. He's going to think it's because the black community is too sexist and misogynist. He needs to fail. He needs a constant flood of black men saying, yeah, but he had points though. I mean, yeah, what about when the sister said this? He needs dudes in the barbershop to tell him, yeah, what about when the sister said this? What about when this black woman said that? What about the black woman that called and said this? So he could say, well, you got to understand it. I mean, sometimes, No, FD needs to crash into the wall of Kevin Samuels' legacy that he's trying to climb over and crush. And it needs to be non-black manosphere affiliated dudes. that keep on reminding him, yeah, but I saw this one clip where his sister called in and said this. Or I saw this one clip where this black woman called in and said that. And I saw this one clip with, yeah, you know the stuff y'all don't like to acknowledge over there. Katuro, that's another thing, and thank you for the super chat. You can't kick the dog you want to guard you. Huh? Kevin showed you what women were not willing to do for the men they desire. Once again, you cannot kick the dog you want to guard you. Huh? What black women were not willing to compromise on for the men that they desired, their fantasy man. Appreciate what Kevin Samuels did there. Layers. Numbers. Layers. I'm just your fantasy man. This was essentially the premise of his whole show. Okay, the six-figure men are watching, the men with status are watching me, and funny enough, some of them were. Your fantasy man is watching me. What are you offering him? I am the table. Okay, well, goddamn. Once again, you cannot kick the dog you want to guard you. Women called in young to old, telling Kevin Samuels what they were not going to do for their ideal man. Well, damn. And FD and Deante Kyle don't understand why, when they were dancing on Kevin Samuels' grave, other black men were like, wait, you don't like Kevin Samuels? Huh? I want all of y'all to appreciate, right? I appreciate y'all. Like, I know I got professional brothers. Some of y'all I shout out, but every once in a while, y'all will say something in the comments that kind of give me a little privy into your life and what you do as a career or the general space you're in your life. I know I have professional brothers here. I know I have black men here clearing six figures, been making that for a decade plus. Advanced degree, master's degree. We know we got the PhDs that listen to me. Goddamn, Mr. Z Robin. Many of these folks watched and listened to and were subscribed to Kevin Samuels. These brothers are in relationship. They're married. They have children. They have daughters. They raise daughters. Successful daughters who are married to successful men. Shout out to Telescope. Huh? Successful daughters who are married to successful men. Shout out to Black Uru. Huh? BGS, 2 daughters. Huh? We have, and I'm not shouting out all the rest of you, but trust me, I've listened to y'all. I've watched y'all comments. I know. And to minimize that, these men to hating black women because they're not kissing black women's ass and placating them. Huh? Oh man. They hate their moms. They hate their moms. They hate their sisters. They hate their wives. They hate their girlfriends. They hate their daughters. That's what we're saying. Everyone can tell you how to hold men to task in this society. Everyone in this society, from the children to the elderly, could tell you how to hold men to task. Start asking people how we're supposed to hold women to task and watch everybody start stuttering. I said this society. Now let's focus in and zoom in on the Black community. Start asking these type of folks, how do you hold a Black woman to task? How do you hold Black women to task? If a predominant amount of Black women, or a preponderance of Black women, that's the word I was trying to use, a preponderance of Black women start engaging in some anti-social behavior concerning the Black community, how do you hold them to task? What do you say? What do you advocate for? What do you do? Huh? How do you deter? Huh? How do you redirect? That is the question. Watch these folks start stuttering. You ask them the same question about Black men, and there's a laundry list. And yet they tell you you hate Black women. I have professional Black men that listen to me. I appreciate all of you, my small ass channel. I appreciate all of you. I do appreciation stream, what, once, twice a year? And to boil down my subscribers to just hating women. And then y'all want to talk about what's lazy? Huh? Most Black men are still going to end up for Black women for now. That's changing so goddamn fast. As it should. Ooh, goddamn, Z, you finishing that statement. As it should if Black women are not on Black men's program. Z, you about to say it. If a Black man could get a white woman on his program, not a white woman, she got all the social power in the world, she could kill you. True. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat out, and send the K word, everyone. Oh boy. Anyway. Well, this is probably getting demonetized. Anyway, but yes, if a Black man could get a Latina, a white woman, an Asian woman on his program easier than he could get a Black woman on his program, y'all don't see that as being a problem? Okay, fine, y'all don't care about him. Y'all don't care that that same Black woman who's not on his program is starving and struggling. I mean, just desserts, but no. Oh boy. Thank you. And Mr. Ship to you says that was genius what Kevin did. I'm not just talking about the buns. What are you willing to do for the man you say you want? Say that. And by the way, you can extrapolate that out to how Black women see and think of Black men outside of the romantic sense. Because if you telling me your ideal romantic man who's supposed to have all this money and status and looks and height, if you telling him you just go, I'm here. What are you presenting to him? Well, I am the table. I'm here. My what I present to him is me. I'm me. Shout out to Ed. If you telling me he gets your ass to kiss, then we can extrapolate that out and think of, so what about the men she don't find physically attractive or she doesn't find appealing? And then what about just random Black men? What about a random Black man? And then what about just Black men in aggregate? Oh boy. Huh? But on that note, everyone, we're going to have to end it on out. We'll mosey on out. But I definitely want to come to y'all with a part 2, right? Because it was paramount. Oh man. So we'll, I'll find a way to maybe cover this again. We're gonna do a part 3. Yeah, but I might bring y'all up. So we'll see about that. And I'm sorry about the part 1. Shout out to all of you that were I started that stream, I instantly got interrupted, and then I had to end the stream super short. So yeah, it happens, everyone. It happens. It happens. So on that note, everyone, truly, we'll pause right here. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content, for the love of God. Deante Kyle and FD Signifier conversation. Yawn. Like I said, the leftist stuff I'm used to. I found it somewhat interesting because, you know, once again, FD gives you a bit of his life story, a bit of his background. So does Deante Kyle. Actually, I saw an interview of him and speaking about his background, his upbringing, and being adopted or something along those lines. So, you know, that part. But if y'all are interested, the link is in the description. Shout out to all of you in the comments that said, "Nah, Z, I can't do it." I get it, right? And on that note, truly, we will pause right here. Love, peace, and chicken grease. I'll go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content, for the love of God. Goddamn Z, you talking fast, I know. And y'all have a great rest of y'all day. Great rest of y'all day. Mr. Z out.
You are now listening to Mr. Z Blackneffect.